Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Kyra and welcome to my channel. I wanted to start this channel as sort of a video journal or vlog, haha, of myself and my husband Terrell. He's not here today. He's at work right now, unfortunately, but he will be in other videos. We just wanted to sort of document ourselves getting our lives together as newlyweds. We got married in October 2019, and ever since then, things have been kind of crazy with everything happening in the world. We haven't really had the chance to focus on ourselves and building our lives together as a married couple. So we're just kind of starting this YouTube channel to get that going, and for future memories or for anybody who wants to watch. One of the projects that we are doing is getting ourselves more sustainable food-wise. Currently we are working on growing more vegetables and hopefully next year maybe some fruit as well. This is our second year having a garden. Last year I only grew tomatoes and I believe a couple peppers. This year we have a couple new things and we're trying a couple of new things. Some worked, some haven't, and let's take a tour and let me show you. I'm sorry if you hear cars in the background. There's a road right outside the house. And the garden isn't so super aesthetically pleasing, but she's functional. First things first, we have, this is one of two of my cattle panel trellises. Here we have a Mexican sour gherkin who's just now starting to touch the trellis. Some of the things in my garden I have never grown before, obviously. As I just stated earlier, I've only grown tomatoes and peppers. So some of the things, I'm thinking that I started a little too late in the season to do anything. We're in Kentucky and right kind of on the line between zones 6A and B, and I lean towards zone 6A because I would rather lean towards having less time than more time. And this guy looks like he may be showing some signs of some powdery mildew, so I may just spray him with some neem oil. It's been raining a lot lately, and so I haven't been able to spray any neem oil. This weed patch over here, Terrell and I dug out to try and plant some things over here. However, the weeds are just way too out of control. I couldn't keep them pulled, and the things that we did plant over here didn't get as much sun as we thought they would have. But I do have two things that are doing well, and they are both scarlet kale. There's another one there. He's a little less happy, but this one's very happy. I had a bok choy right there, but he didn't do anything. He just kind of went straight to seed. I had a couple heads of lettuce here, but Terrell accidentally weed-eated over them. I planted a Boston, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. I planted a Boston pickling cucumber here. However, I tried to move him a little closer to the trellis, and I think I may have cut his roots on accident, and he ended up dying, unfortunately. My yard is kind of a mess right now. It's my cat, Sophie. What are you doing, Sophie? She loves grass. And I am just amazed at how much clover there is this year in my yard. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take my cat Sophie inside because my mom's cat, right there, he is very friendly towards people, not so much towards other cats, and I don't want them to get into a fight. Back to what I was saying, I'm really amazed at how much clover is in my yard this year. It's in my backyard, not so much my front yard, but bees love it, so I just leave it. I mow it and it comes right back up. Something else the bees love are these rows of Sharons. This one blooms a little bit better. As you can see, it is just covered in blooms. And when you walk by, they've sort of shut up their blooms in the evenings and when it rains. But as you can see, it is just covered. And there are more on there that need to bud out. But when you walk by, you can just hear the bees buzzing. And it likes to drop them all over the yard. Here's the main garden in all her glory, minus 6 heads of cabbage. I had 3 here, and then 3 on the other side. They got to be gigantic and were delicious. We're still eating through them. I tried making sauerkraut for the first time ever. but I'm not sure how well that's gonna work. We will see. This year, I'm having a very interesting year with tomatoes. It's a very big learning curve for me for tomatoes this year. I'm having deer come by and eat all of the ones that are almost ready. The bigger tomatoes, not my cherries. They haven't really touched my cherries, but they are touching my big ones. And I'm just taking notes for next year because it's so late in our season. I don't think any of these big beefs right here are gonna have time to really produce anything big. Maybe they will. They may surprise me. Here's a Juliet. She's been doing pretty good, putting off things. And I've been keeping an eye for tomato worms because last year they just completely decimated my tomatoes. Also, these are plastic. I will not be using these anymore because they cannot hold very much at all. As you can see, this guy is just falling all over the place. I need to tie him up. Same thing with my Sweet 100 cherry, but that one even more so. Here is a kiddie pool. I tried to start some spinach in, but I think I planted them too deep and they didn't like it. Plus, this dirt likes to hold a ton of moisture, like way more than other dirt, and it wouldn't drain properly, so I don't think the spinach liked that very much. So I'm gonna put different dirt in that. I had radishes on this half of this bed and they came up really well. Here is a Tabasco pepper that I think might need a drink. He's drooping a little bit. Pepper plants are kind of drama queens when they get thirsty. I do have a couple Tabascos on there. Got some marigolds at either corner of my garden to deter rabbits. Next year I will be planting more. There's my basil. He loves life. I'm gonna have to come out here tomorrow and tie this guy up. My basil's living life. Here's a habanero pepper that got frostbit because in my zone and a couple others we got a very late frost, and he's only produced one habanero that is just now starting to turn a very light shade of green. So we'll see if it ripens. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like peppers take forever to ripen. But maybe that's just me. I've got 3 lemon boys, one here, here, and here. I bought these 3. I have 7 tomato plants in total. I had only originally intended to put 4, but I planted them before we got the late frost, and it ended up, what I thought, killing my other 4. So I bought the 4, but I gave one to my mom. 4 lemon boys to try and replace them. But every single one of my tomatoes came back, so I ended up with 7 because I don't like to just let vegetable plants die. Here is my Kajari melon. I planted him a little late. Here's another one here. He's gotten whacked by the weed eater on accident. I planted him a little late, so I don't know if he'll get to do anything because so far it looks like he's only been putting out male blooms. But we'll see. We've still got a little over 80 days. But yes, these 2, this one here and this one here, have been completely eaten by deer. Well, hello, Snatch. Let's see if he wants to say hi. Hi! You want to say hi to YouTube? Please don't use the bathroom in my fire pit. Got some wood Terrell and I need to move. Hello! Come here. You want to say hi? Oh. He's a good kitty, but he just does not like other kitties, huh? Or dogs. I have never seen a cat that will run at a dog, but he will. So I try to keep him and my cats away from each other. But yeah, the deer even came for these small ones as well. These had a couple small ones up here. Those are gone. Those just happened today. I'm gonna have to spray my liquid fence. These still have some on there. These still have some on there. I'm gonna have to keep a close eye. Maybe I should have wore pants out here because I am just getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. Oh, and here's my yellow cherry. It's happy and putting off tomatoes. And then here is my big behemoth, Sweet 100. As you can see, it is really putting that plastic stake to the test. Bye, Snatch. I'm gonna have to come out tonight and check for hornworms. If you or anybody you know grows tomatoes, get a black light and come outside at night. I come out between 9:30 and 10:30 and shine on your tomato plants. Any hornworms will glow and you will be able to see them and pick them off before they do any real damage to your plants. Because if you let them go, they will completely destroy your tomato plants. They also like pepper plants as well, but they haven't really touched mine this year, and I think that's more so because I'm growing hot peppers rather than sweet peppers. I'm just checking for any that are ripe that I'm not seeing, because they will hide. I usually pick my tomatoes at the start of the day, but since there have been some thieves in the garden, I have been picking them when I see them ripe. My kale has been beat up this year. It's just blue curly kale. I let the garden go for about a week without me doing anything to it, which was a bad idea. And as you can see, some of these leaves, I've pulled the majority of them off, but some of these leaves have just completely been eaten alive by those little white butterfly things. They're actually moths, and they will lay their eggs. See here, this one's really bad. They will lay their eggs on the undersides of these leaves, and the caterpillars will hatch and just destroy the kale. But brassicas tend to suffer during this time anyway because it's so hot. I was tempted to pull them, but I feel like the pest season, at least in my zone, will be over soon, so I'm trying to nurse them until I get the fall kale planted into the ground. Here is a habanero plant that I planted to supplement the one that got frostbite, and it is liking life. My camera isn't wanting to focus, and I'm sorry. And then there is a jalapeno I planted from seed. I planted a bell pepper here, but he didn't come up. I'm trying to do this kind of quick because I am getting eaten up by mosquitoes. I had some bug spray, but I think it accidentally got taken by somebody at our 4th of July event, and I haven't thought to buy any more. But here's one little batch of Kentucky pole beans that my mom gave me. Here's my dad's water rig for those little trees over there. He's got some more going back that way, but and here is my bigger patch of Kentucky runner beans. I really like these, or Kentucky pole beans. I really like these here, but I don't think they really like it here because they aren't really producing a lot, because I don't think most of their blooms are back here under this pallet, and I don't think the bees really can tell. Maybe not, maybe I'm completely wrong, but they just don't seem to be producing a lot. So I probably won't put them here next year. I'm gonna do a lot of moving around in the garden for next year. So these will probably be on either that trellis or the other trellis. But I'm gonna let these go to seed so I can collect the beans and plant them next year. Somebody's honking at somebody. And last but not least, we will go check my okra. I do have a couple flowers here and there, but nothing really blooming at the moment. Sun right in my eyes. Hope the neighbors aren't peeking out the window. They're gonna see me filming and think I'm a weirdo, but it's okay. I have to be careful here because snakes like to hang out right in this patch. Here's my okra. There are 4, although one came up, this guy came up a lot later. This guy, move. That little guy came up a lot later. I planted 5 seeds. 4 out of 5 came up, so that's not bad, I suppose. And these are Jing Orange. I have never grown okra. I've never eaten okra until now. I'm trying to get myself to like it because it's very good for you and very good for your digestion. However, it's slimy, and a lot of people who don't like okra can't get over that. So I'm trying to cook it in different ways to maybe make it not as slimy. But so far, it's just been putting out 2 or 3 at a time. And I know that by the time the season's over, this will be a lot taller and will be producing a lot faster. And I kind of like them because they're fuzzy, almost like velvet. Okra, once it gets going, really gets going, and they mature very, very fast. Like this guy will probably be ready to harvest tomorrow evening. I've got one right there that's going to be ready to harvest within the next 3 days. Same thing here. And I've got this guy that's gonna bloom. All these blooms will be okra. This guy will bloom, all of it. Let's go check on my tree. I'm trying not to get, I have neighbors. They're not super close, but they're not super far either. But I don't want them to think I'm videotaping their property. I bought this tree from Aldi for about 14 bucks. And it was just barely a stump. It is they're supposed to be a red bud. And it has really, really beefed out. And I try to give it some vitamins and food about every 2 weeks because I really want it to beef up before winter, so I don't have to try and cover it or anything like that. And the only real issue I've had have been worms that have, like this leaf for example, they'll close the leaves, build a nest, and just destroy the leaf. So I'm going to take my little harvest in the house, and I am going to, hi Snatch, and I am going to spray my little Mexican sour gherkin with some neem oil. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you can join my husband and myself on our journey to building our lives together. See you in the next one.